Excited to be here. We got out of quarantine last night. Our guys were excited. We went and took a gym time in the convention center last night from 10 to 11, so our guys could just shoot around and stretch their legs. So everybody's excited. The Tigers are excited, and we're heading over to IU to practice a little bit later this afternoon. This will be the first time we've been on the court since Sunday when we played Alabama. So got a lot of work to do, a lot of preparation ahead for a great St. Bonaventure team, and we'll get rolling.
Yeah, well, I wondered, this is Jerry Tipton at the Herald Leader in Lexington. I wonder what the bubble is like, life in the bubble, how that, what are some of the details of that? And are there any issues with the players' mental health with that?
Jerry, you need no introduction. We know your voice. No, the bubble. I mean, I tell you what, man. I mean, the NCAA's done a tremendous job. I mean, it's the bubbles. It's been different. Certainly, it's a different NCAA experience. But you're not going to hear any complaining from LSU. We're excited to be here. They've done it. I mean, you don't see it. You can't even get to the first floor of our hotel, and they've got barricades and police around the hotel. So, I mean, the first time I will have stepped outside since we got here is when we leave to go to Bloomington for practice today. A couple of our people had you can go to Victory Field, which is a baseball park right here. A couple of our people went and walked around. A couple of our players and support staff went and walked around this morning during a allotted time from 10 to 11. But I mean, it's certainly a different experience, but it's the NCAA tournament. You're playing still. You're playing in March, and so we're not complaining about that at all.
Thanks.
Hi, Will. Rachel and Lindsay from the Buffalo News. You're going to have an interesting challenge when your team faces St. Bonaventure's Oshun Oshuni inside. Is there a player, Oshun is comparable to in the SEC among the teams you face this season?
He's a monster. No, the one I compared him to was Larry Sanders when I was an assistant at VCU. He ended up being a top 20 NBA draft pick. He was the defensive player of the month a couple times in the NBA. He had some issues and is out of the league, but he's the one I compared him to. I mean, Larry had a 7'7" wingspan. I think he's got a 7'8" wingspan if I've read the graphics right. But I mean, he is just a shot blocking menace, tremendous player. He's athletic. He hit a late growth spurt, which is what Larry did. Larry was like 6'6" and then grew to 6'11". So that's who I'd compare him to. And we have some great shot blockers in the SEC, but he is elite. He's as good as I've seen in the country. I can't imagine there's anybody much better than him in the country. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. And he's a huge reason why their defense and their team is so good.
And as a follow-up to that, how do you prepare for a player like that who's skilled in one, blocking shots, and two, being such a defensive force inside?
Yeah, he takes a lot of charges too. He doesn't just block shots. He takes charges. It's certainly we're going to have to prepare differently for him. Because when he's around the basket, he's putting a hand on the ball, he's blocking a shot, and so you've got to do things. You got to do what you can do to mitigate his effectiveness around the basket and in the restricted area. And so you do have to game plan around him and around that, which is not always easy.
Coach, I imagine you've watched the last play of the Bama game a few times.
Yes.
If Trendon Watford had been on the Alabama team, would he have got called for a foul on that? I mean, the way that ended, or did he kind of block Days' shot is what I'm asking.
Actually, it was just a scrum for the ball. And so when that happens, we obviously ran into each other there. I think even if Hyatt hadn't caught the first one, it was going to go right to Days, and Days could have laid it in. And then the second one, when Days got it, we got bumped a little bit. So, I mean, it's just just a scrum. And I mean, look, our guys made great plays. It was a broken play. We're trying to get it in at the elbow. We obviously overthrew it to the backcourt because of their pressure and stuff. But I mean, we got 2 shots on the point blank shots on the rim. That's all you could ask for. But yeah, we did kind of block our own. We were in our own way a little bit.
And I wanted to ask you too, the game you won at St. Bonaventure, I think it was in your last season at VCU when you got technicals after their players stormed the court thinking they'd won. Is that the wildest win you've had in that kind of situation?
Yeah, their fans actually stormed the court.
Right.
It was. I don't know if you've been to Bonaventure, but it is an incredible environment. Yeah, it was pretty wild. We actually won another wild one that went later on that week at George Washington. We won 2 games in a week with 0.6 seconds on the clock. And so, yeah, those were 2 of the wildest games I've ever been a part of. But that Bonaventure game was something else.
So that game, you must have thought, the Bonaventure game, you must have thought you'd lost when they stormed the court, or did you know there was time left there?
Well, it's just one of those freak things. We had actually missed a free throw, and they came down and hit a corner 3 off a missed free throw. And the 3 they thought they thought it was for the win, and then they stormed the court, and our guy had it wouldn't have been a technical if our guy hadn't inbounded the ball. And so our guy inbounded the ball to one of our players. And I mean, it was a crazy, just a once in a, I mean, I'd say 1 in a million, but probably 1 in 100 million thing that happened.
Thank you.
Hey, Will, it's Brett Martell with the Associated Press here. Congrats on another great season here. Very exciting team. I was wondering, could you discuss, I guess, generally what your approach has been to managing and recruiting under, I guess, maybe a little bit heightened regulatory scrutiny the last couple of years, and just your feelings on the success you've been able to sustain all through that?
Well, we've just been focused on what we can do on the court. We spend all of our time, worried about what's going to happen on the court, what we can do to help our guys move forward. There's a lot of other people that are dealing with, other things, attorneys and folks from the university and that sort of thing. So, we focused on winning and doing what we can do to put our guys in the best position to be successful. And it's a credit to our guys. You got to narrow your focus. You got to lock in. You got to focus on the things you can control, and that's what we can control right now. And our guys and our program and our staff, support staff, everybody's done a great job with that.
Yeah, well, I know over the past couple of years, I mean, in recruiting, you've had to fight a lot of things. I was looking at a tweet this morning from Jordi Collada that said on his show that about Dick Vitale's comments that Vitale flat out lied to you. Can you just address that really quick so we can move on to basketball?
I think I addressed it. I mean, what's there else to say? I talked to him the day before the game. He said he said it was going to be strictly about basketball, and then he gets on there and there's all sorts of other stuff from what I understand. I don't ever listen to the games with the commentary, but I mean, it's what I said is the truth.
I mean, is there anybody at LSU can file a complaint with ESPN saying, I mean, basically this is kind of backstabbing your recruiting in some sense?
I don't worry about all that. We know who we are. The kids we recruit know who we are, and they're not worried about that.
Now for basketball, what has turned it around like this last 3 or 4 games? I mean, you're playing your best basketball of the year. Is it a sense of urgency among your players that maybe this is, one of the few last times they'll play together, or it's March? What turned?
And sometimes it just takes some time. It's, everybody wants everything to happen, immediately, but we didn't have, sometimes it takes time to settle into rotation. Sometimes it takes time to settle into, to responsibilities and what everybody needs to do, and for everybody to get comfortable with that. And so I think it's just a byproduct of us just kind of trudging through the season. It hasn't been smooth the whole time, but we've been able to trudge through and get through. And we found out a lot about the individual guys on our team and maybe what fits the best. And I think our guys are playing better because of that. And they're playing with a little bit more a heightened sense of urgency as we come down the stretch here.
Hey, Will, obviously these are two teams that play totally different in terms of pace and style. I mean, is that something you guys are going to have to talk about with the players? Because this is going to be a team that's obviously going to be very physical, very slower paced, and, you know, are going to try to want to throw you guys off of your fast paced game. I mean, is that something you guys talk about, and how do you approach, you know, a team like this that plays at such a slower pace?
Yeah, we'll certainly address it. I mean, you've got to guard against frustration. They can frustrate you with their you know, I wouldn't say they played a slow. They're just very deliberate. I mean, he is a excellent basketball coach on the offensive and defensive end. And his offensive sets, he stirs you up for about 10 or 12 seconds to get to what he actually wants to get to. So it's really good offense. But more importantly for us is we've got a defensive rebound the ball, because if you guard them for 24, 26 seconds, they miss the shot. You got to get that so you can go. And you give up another possession, they may just kick it out and run clock again for another 20 seconds. And so, you know, you can end up, if we're not careful and we're not disciplined, we can end up playing defense for 32 minutes and play offense for 8 minutes on Saturday. So we've got to be very, very disciplined on what we're doing defensively. And then also offensively, like some of the, you know, Ron alluded to it. We take some tough shots, but we take some tough shots because, you know, we give our guys a lot of confidence. We give our guys some freedom on the offensive end, but we also we do that knowing that we're going to be playing 75 possessions a game. They hadn't played a 70 possession game since early January. So, you know, we've got to be a little bit, it's not just on the defensive end. We've got to be a little bit more cautious offensively with what we do and the shots we take, and make sure that we're taking great shots each time.
We have a couple more minutes if anyone has any more questions for Will. If not, we'll get to Javonte. Ron, last one.
Okay. Yeah. Talk about the number of possessions. Is that the most important stat for you? I know from covering this game for a long time, Nolan Richardson, that's all he talked about was, you know, we might do a lot of things wrong and right, but in the end, I just want possessions, as many possessions as I can get. If I have more possessions, I got a chance to win. Do you feel the same way?
And the most important stat is the final score.
Yeah.
But you know, to get to how we want to play, yeah, we need as many, you know, we need more possessions. And so, you know, we look at that. I track that during the game, what we're on pace for, where we're on pace to get to. And so that's, you know, that is important for us.
All right, I think I'm next. My name is Lane Higgins. I'm from the Wall Street Journal, and I just had a couple questions for you about some of the things that you and your players brought to Indianapolis. You know, is there anything that, you know, once you got here, you realized, oh, shoot, I need to get on Amazon, or any of the sort of creative things that your players brought to stay entertained while they're going to be in this hotel?
Well, when we got out of, our players are a lot smarter than I am with all this stuff, but when we got out of quarantine last night, everybody kind of got out in the hall and was excited when we got the word we were out of our rooms. But about 4 of them came out with their headsets on for playing video games with each other. So I know a bunch of them brought at least 3 of them brought their video game systems with their headsets, and how they hooked those up to the TVs and all that. I have no clue, but they got all that hooked up because the hotel TVs have the special kit. You know, you've got to have a input. I don't know, but
yeah,
you got to have, but you've got to have some special stuff. So anyway, I know our guys brought that, but the NCAA they gave you all sorts of stuff once you got here. I couldn't even get everything up to the room with all the, they gave us 3 bags worth of, or a box and 2 bags worth of stuff when we got here. So I couldn't even, like I said, it carried me down getting up to the room. But, you know, we've been gone since this is a week we've been on the road. We left last Wednesday for the SEC tournament, and we never came back to Baton Rouge. So by the time we tip off on Saturday, we'll be gone 10 days. But we told our guys to pack for that, and our managers have been doing laundry for us and that sort of thing. So I don't think anybody's had to order anything too special on Amazon, but I know they brought their game systems and their headphones and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I've heard that the NCAA put a 500-piece puzzle in those swag bags that they gave to all of you. Do you know if anyone's cracked into that yet?
I have not looked into any of the swag bags. I would imagine if I asked Josh Gray, one of my players, I imagine he may have taken a crack at this puzzle. So
What makes you
I'll
say
see.
that?
What now?
What makes you say that?
Because that's the type of stuff he loves to do. And so he loves to do puzzles and that sort of thing. And so I think he may have taken a crack at it. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Last one for Cobble before we have to end.
We can't end without Cobble, huh?
Similar vein to what Lane actually just
Cobble,
asked about.
stay on. We'll have our point guard next.
Yes, fantastic.
Hold tight.
You know, he described himself as a point guard in the post game. I felt the tinge all over again. If you would kind of just take us through what you have planned, not necessarily puzzles and video games, but how are you going to approach your remaining days? And I mean, is it really you're just in hotels the whole time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're in the hotel the whole time. I mean, there's a walkway over to the convention center. Like I said, we're gonna leave today. We're going to Bloomington today to practice at IU, to practice at Assembly Hall, where we'll play on Saturday. It's about an hour and 10-minute bus ride from the hotel here. So we'll go there. We got practice from 4 to 5:30. We'll come back. We'll have dinner, do some film and night snack. And then tomorrow we're practicing in the convention center here. We're going to try to get a shoot around time tomorrow night in the convention center. Friday, we're practicing in the convention center. And then Saturday morning, we'll get up early and go over to the game. Today we scheduled a hour outside at Victory Field. You can actually see Victory Field from our hotel when we walk from the meeting room. And there was 2 or 3 different teams out there this morning. It's about 45 degrees here, so it's not exactly balmy going out there to Victory Field, but we'll try to schedule some outside time, maybe Thursday and Friday, because if not, you're in the hotel the whole time. You can't go to the first floor of the hotel because there's non-tier 1 people on the first floor of the hotel. So you've got to be cautious. Got to be cautious about that. The main things. We got out of quarantine. We've got a bunch of negative tests. We got to keep getting negative tests so we can just push through and play on Saturday. But the setup here, like I said earlier, has been great. It's been well managed. It's been well organized. It's as good as you could ask for when you've got 68 teams in one place and everybody's needy and wants the same things. And so it's been a very, very good production and very, very good organization so far. So I'm sure that they'll, if we were fortunate enough to advance, I'm sure things will loosen up a little bit. You can, as they dwindle the teams down, you've got more area for movement and room for movement. So I'm sure that may be in the plans, but hopefully we're here long enough to figure that out.
Do you talk to them at all about Assembly Hall and kind of the history there?
I don't have to. Trendon knows everything about it. So Trendon's obviously been there, dozens of times. He was fired up. He's the one who texted me. Actually, before Kent could text me that we were playing at Assembly Hall, Trendon had found it on Twitter and texted me like immediately in the hotel room in Nashville that we were going to play at Indiana. So he has, he's the one who knows. He's the expert on Assembly Hall. He knows the ins and outs of it. I've been to Bloomington before. This will be the first time I've ever been in Assembly Hall. So it'll be fun. We check off another historic arena gym. We can check it off the list.
Thank you, Will.
All right. I think Kent is finding Javonte. Our meeting room is not the easiest to find. It's down. We're way, way, way in the back. So I think Kent is, every time else we've come down here, we've come in a group. So I think Cabo, it's a gym, arena, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we do play in an arena. I'm not going to say what I want to say. I can't say it. I can't say what I want to say right now, but.
Hey, Javonte, how has life been the past couple of days? Kind of, in quarantine, stuck in a hotel. How has everybody passed the time, and how happy are you to actually get out of the hotel today?
Yesterday we found out that everybody got negative on their test, so we was able to go to the gym yesterday. Everybody was excited to get out, to be able to get some shots up in the gym. But we just happy, we get to practice today.
What I guess the past 4 or 5 games, y'all played your best basketball of the year. What's kind of turned around? Let's say turned around, but why are y'all playing so much better? I mean, in every area.
It's all coming along. All season we've been, waiting to put it all together. We didn't play the way we wanted to play all year, so we just wanted to put it together. Now is the time. I feel like now is the time, and I think all the guys bought into, put it all together around this time, and I think it's the right time right now.
Hey, Javonte, Steve Weiner from the Associated Press here. Everybody knows that got a wacky question for you. Everybody knows the One Shining Moment song. I'm wondering, as a kid, did you ever imagine yourself in that song, hitting a buzzer beater or anything like that?
Say it again.
Did you ever imagine yourself with that One Shining Moment song as a kid, playing on the playground or hitting a buzzer beater to that song?
Yeah. I imagine that, me hitting the last shot or something, but, just waiting on the time.
Hey, Javonte, Coach was just saying how much Trendon Watford knows about Assembly Hall, where y'all are going to play in Bloomington. Do you know, did he play up there, or have you played there in AAU or something? Or
No, I never played there, but Trendon Watford, his older brother played up there, and all his life he was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was always around the gym. I'm pretty sure he used to the gym and everything.
And how long did it take you to get over the Bama loss? Y'all almost had that thing won. Was that tough to get over? Are you over it now?
Yeah, I'm pretty over it now. We can't get that one back, but it was tough to get over. Losing by 1, we almost had it, but we moving on to Saturday game and getting ready for the big game we have Saturday.
Well, actually, you can get it back. Y'all could actually play them, not to look ahead, but y'all could play them again.
Yeah, once we get past the next upcoming games we got, we can play them for the 4th time.
Thanks.
Yeah, hey Javonte, I know obviously you've been in this setting before, you've been in this tournament before. I guess just kind of, do you hark back on any memories from a couple of years ago that you feel like you can use this year? I mean, just what was that whole experience like for you as a freshman, being able to play in an NCAA tournament and have the ride that you guys did? And I guess just kind of, what's the message to the guys that obviously haven't been here before?
Just how it was pretty fun my freshman year, playing with them whatnot. Yeah.
Are the lights going in and out, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Kent messing with them?
You good?
Okay.
You need me to re-ask that question, or you good?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Just talk about just kind of the run you had 2 years ago, and any experiences that you can take off of that and bring them into this tournament, and just also what some of the messages are to the guys that haven't been here before.
Like I said, my freshman year, we was just having fun. I think this year we should have fun, with this type of thing. Not too many people get this chance to, play in the NCAA tournament. So for all the young guys on our team, just tell them to have fun, Saturday is just another game. It's a big game, but it's just another game. And, we go out there and have fun. We capable to do big things.
Hey, Javonte, it's Brett Martell with AP. Congrats on another good season. Yeah, I was remembering a little bit how much uncertainty there was at the end of your or near the end of your first season. When you think about from then to now, what do you think have been the key factors in the team, I guess, continuing to thrive all through that, staying together, growing, and being as successful as you have?
Just building a brotherhood, becoming a family here. Everybody, buying into, what Coach Wade got going on for us. Being able to practice every day, being able to compete. I think that's been the big stuff for us. Being able to compete with each other every day at practice. Everybody buying into, like I said, what Coach Wade got going on for us. Everybody wanting to win. Winning is a big part of our program. And I think, for the next step, I think us winning, Saturday would, be huge moving on, moving forward.
Thank you.
Hey, Javonte, Coach just told us about the moment y'all kind of all got your negative tests back. He said y'all, hopped out into the hall. I'm envisioning like a little block party vibe. Kind of take us through it. Was it like a locker room celebration after a win, or what was the vibe?
Yeah, Coach Wade actually texted a few guys that, we got negative tests. And once he came in the hallway and said we was, able to get out, everybody was shocked and was ready to leave like immediately. So we was ready to just get dressed and get over there to the gym and, get some shots up.
There's a lot of restrictions, but do you kind of feel like those NBA guys, when their season first started, practicing in ballrooms, and kind of living that life?
Yeah, it's feel pretty different. Something we're not used to, but to be able to play in the NCAA tournament, it's something we have to do. So, we'll accept whatever, they had us doing.
Thanks, man.
Javonte, Rachel Lindsay from the Buffalo News. What have you seen from St. Bonaventure that stands out about them or defines them from what you've been able to scout of them so far?
I saw him a little bit versus VCU, but we haven't watched that much film yet. So we will.
Center, he's a really good shot blocker. What kind of challenge will be facing if you know about him?
Everything will be a challenge. They're a real good team, but I think, we're going to work on ourselves and, prepare for whatever, we have to face Saturday.
Right.
Hey, Javonte, after that initial, when you were interviewed by NCAA people before the SEC tournament 2 years ago, have they ever talked to you again since then?
That's something I can't say.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you, Javonte.
No problem. Thank you.